We're going to be doing the September Vintage VIP subscription unboxing today. So if you're here, say hello. I'd love to hear from you. We're going to start in just a moment. We're going to let people mosey on in, and we're going to have in the comments today our special guest, Jess Lincoln, who is well, I'll tell you guys in just a second all about Jess. So, if you're here, say hello, whether you're watching from Facebook or YouTube. I'm glad to have you guys here. Let's get started. Hi, welcome, welcome. Hi, Wendy. Glad you're watching. Hi, Jess, you're here. Yay. And if you don't know, if you're new here, guys, I'll give you guys a few more minutes to come on in, say hello. Hi, Karen and Stephanie, Elise. Nice to have you guys here. Definitely say hi to me if you guys are watching. I'd love to hear from you. It's really nice to know that I'm not talking to myself. Hi, Landa and Lisa, Shelly, Brenda, Julie, Candy, Susan. Hi. Oh, and her daughter from California. Hello, daughter. Hi, Ellen and Kimberly. Just, we don't mind a silly face or two. Hi, Debbie and Amanda watching from YouTube. Glad to have you guys here. Jonalyn, your box isn't here yet, so you are really getting a surprise today. So you get to see what's in, and I bet it will show up tomorrow. Hi, Chris and Debbie and Joy. Okay, thanks, Jess, about my crazy hair. I'm very inspired by the new Lord of the Rings TV show and their little Harfoot characters. Oh, Lauren, you're sneaking the video in and watching with subtitles. Good. Karen, I have cats, so I get to pretend I'm talking to the cats instead of myself, which works out really nicely. All right. We have enough new people here. Hi, Jessica from Cali. And Sue. Hello. And Donna. All right, if you're new here, I'm Heather Powers from Humble Beads, and I'm a bead maker, jewelry designer, author, illustrator, and your all-around creative muse. It's my job every week to get those beads off your bead table and into some jewelry. So that's what I'm here today. Today we have our special sponsor, which is there's a change with the Vintage subscription box, and if you're already a subscriber, I'm sure you already know this. Jess Lincoln from Vintage is now taking over the Vintage VIP box as her full-time job, and she's super excited. She's the one that's been handling it and doing it all along, so you're not going to notice any changes, except if you're a new customer, you'll be ordering directly from Jess, and all of Jess will just get to spend all of her time and attention making these boxes the most exciting things you can find. So in the comments, there's the link to Jess May Lincoln is the new website for Jess, and there's the direct link to the product. Everything else is exactly the same. It's all the same wonderful vintage goodies you've been getting, along with things from their archives and special elements that Jess has pulled together. For 2022, it's been the what I want to call birthstones. And so we are still on birthstones, and we're doing September. And so we know that it's going to be sapphire for September. So I'm super excited to look in this box, because who can't use a little extra blue in their lives? If you're new to Vintage components, they're made in the USA with eco-friendly finishes, and you can do anything with Vintage components that you would do with a regular piece of metal, and buff, patina, paint, bend them, rivet them, hammer, stamp, lettering, all sorts of things, punch holes in it, so you can make them very, very versatile. Oh, yay, Jess! It's Jess's September is Jess's birthday, so it's her birthstone. Yay! Any other September babies? If you're a September baby, raise your hand, or give us a heart and let us know. We'd love to know if it's your birthday. If it's your birthday, happy birthday. I personally like to celebrate for an entire month, so I hope you do too. All right, guys, I am super excited. Let's just jump in. Let's quit playing around and enough of seeing my face. Let's get to the good stuff. So your box, everything's exactly the same, guys. No change whatsoever. Except Jess gets to make it a little more fabulous every month. So here's our inspiration card, and Jess always goes above and beyond coming up with really creative ways to use the components. So I definitely like to go through and look at everything and see her very unique takes on things. Like I can see she's using a jump ring for a bail. That is super cool. Oh, happy birthday! We got lots of birthdays in September. Candy's mom turns 88 today. Happy birthday, Candy's mom. And Julie, it's her mom's birthday month too. And Nancy, you have a September birthday. Linda, you have your birthday on the 23rd. Awesome. Then Deb Woods just celebrated her 70th. I love this, you guys. Makes me so happy. Yeah, and so just I'm going to put this up here. So Jess says, for those who are already subscribed to the box, moving forward, your auto renewal and confirmation and shipments will be coming from Jess May Lincoln. So that's the only change. Everything else is the same. Awesome stuff you've been getting all along and will continue to be inspired every month. Look at these colors, guys. I'm in love. Okay. Yes. So many great ideas. All right. Let's jump in. We're going to start with the Vintaj, the brass pieces. Let's see, I think I can get just a little bit closer. Or you can see my sapphire sneak peek over here. Just for a minute, I thought you said you were 10. No! We have 2 birthdays coming up next week. My grandmother and my aunt. So we're having a Silver Fox's birthday party for them. I'm super excited. And Shelly has her son's 3rd birthday and her husband's 17th birthday and your anniversary. That's a whole bunch of celebrating. September seems like a good month to party, you guys. I'm excited. All right, look at this gorgeous piece with these 2 really beautiful peacocks. I absolutely love this. I could totally see Patina painting those peacock feathers and really making this stand out. Oh, what a spectacular piece. Then we have 2 diamond-shaped filigree pieces, and these can be used vertical or horizontal, and you can bend these and use them. I could totally see these as bracelet connectors. Is that what Jess did? And, oh, Jess used it as a bracelet focal, but I could see putting a focal bead in the middle and bending these and using these 2 on the end. That would be really pretty. Ooh, Stephanie, I'm super excited for you. Stephanie said her husband surprised her with a gorgeous strand of Montana sapphires when they were on vacation in Montana last week. So, Steph, you have some extra special beads to pull out and use with this September edition. And, oh, I have to say hi to my mom. Hi, Mom, who's watching. Okay, we have the swirly little, oh, there we go, focal piece, and it's domed, so this is fun to play with. We have 2 of those, so you could use them individually or for earrings. And these are fun filigree pieces. I don't think I've seen these before. So a Vintage box exclusive, and you could totally put little holes in the bottom of here and have some little things hanging off if you like extra long earrings. Then here's another really cool box exclusive, and that's the other thing about the Vintage box is you get exclusives that are only for the box, and so they are rare little finds that you'll find have been included, and these are really interesting. I like these a lot. These would make a really fun pair of earrings, and I could totally see painting this too. And then we have a whole collection of these little tiny brass charms, blanks, and these you can do all sorts of hammering on them to texture them. You could stamp on them to do little tiny, you could spell out a word or date or letters, anything you wanted to do to customize those. Okay, now let's move these guys out of the way for right now so that we can show off all the goodies that are in the box here. Blanks are really fun to work with. You can hammer them with a dapping hammer, a ball peen hammer, and do all sorts of fun texturing on them. Okay, now this is the raw brass pieces. And Jess, is this the piece that you told me was steel and that this will have to be painted or sealed? Is this the one you were talking about? Let me know in the comments. Carmen, it is not too late to get this box. You can get this box through the end of September, and you will be getting the exact box that you see here today. And Jess, if you want to post that link to answer Carmen's question, Jess will post exactly the link to find this at, which is going to be jessmaylincoln.com. All right. So Jess, let me know about this. I think this is the piece that you said was steel. And if so, let's see. There's one hole at the top here, but this is ripe for being able to poke as many holes in the bottom or on the sides that you wanted and really do all sorts of fun stuff with this. And I really love the design. Oh, Jess, I was asking if this was the steel piece that needed to be painted or sealed that you were talking about. Let me know in the comments. Ooh, here's the moth, and I've seen this in the Vintaj finish, their natural brass dark finish, but I've never seen it in the raw brass finish, which is kind of fun. I really like to mix dark and raw brass together. Okay, so just so you guys know, Jess says this is raw steel, and you can use the Ultimate Paints stains or patinas on it. Or Jess, I'm also assuming you could use like a matte sealer if you wanted to seal it, or Renaissance wax. A clear glaze sealer. Yes, okay. There we go. Yes, the Luna Fly. That's what it's called. I should know the names by now. Yeah, so I've seen this in the dark brass, but never in the bright raw brass. That's exciting. Then we have these fun components that are hammered metal in raw brass. And then more hammered raw brass. We have earring components. Well, I would use them for earrings, but you could get creative with it. And they have 3 holes on the bottom and 1 hole on the top. And I just really love this rustic texture on there. Okay, we have some bead caps in the raw brass. And all of these raw brass pieces are exclusive to the box. I'm not sure if you can get any of these. Maybe these little guys. I don't even think you can get these little guys on the website, Vintaj. So these are really cute. They have the etched flower designs in them, and they're all a little bit different. And they have a hole on the top or the bottom. So lots of design possibilities with these guys. And our last piece in this box, ooh, is this cool kind of Art Deco drop. I like that. And it has looks like some gray stain on it, painted stain, so that's really, really nice. Okay, now in the fun box bag, here we have a piece of dark blue suede, and I've been enjoying using suede for clasps, so you can, you know, do a little rivet there or some wire work, and then use this as the hook part of an hook and eye clasp, or use it to tie a pendant onto your design. And then, hey, look, we get some findings. Woo! I highly, highly recommend Vintaj findings. The raw brass, well, any of their findings, but they're really super high quality. These ones are nice and thick. I think these are the size 8 jump rings, and so really great little workhorses for your designs. Now let me get my little, oops. We have one super cool thing in this box. Not that everything isn't cool, but here's an extra little treat. This is an Austrian crystal focal, and it has a really nice curve to it, so you could totally use it as a bracelet focal, but it also lays flat enough that you could use it as a pendant too. So if you need some sparkle, here it is. I could just, for like a minute, just play with this. It feels really good. It's a really heavy, substantial piece, and Austrian crystal, I'm assuming from the crystal company that shall not be named. Okay, just says that the little findings pack that are in your box this month vary. So you may get a different little pack of findings in your box. So that's fun, a nice little surprise. All right. Hope some are receiving jump rings, head pins, or clasps. So, yes. All right, now let's pull out the crystal, glass, and is this a stone? This looks like a stone. Maybe not. Maybe it's lucite. It's cool, whatever it is. So we have some little daggers to play with. I always forget what these are called. You guys will tell me. Riveles? Is that what it is? It's a really beautiful color. And all sorts of little tiny beads in here. I'm loving everything. Super inspired. So what do you guys think? Oops, sorry, didn't mean to make my camera dance. The trick is to get the camera close enough to the table, but not to the part that's messy. I don't want you guys to see my mess. All right, so, what do I want to work with? What would you guys work with first? Oh, okay. So also, the crystals are varied in the boxes too. So you'll all get a big, huge crystal, but it's going to be different. And there's a few different variations, and you'll receive one of the variations. So that's exciting. Okay, so this is actually, it's glass. This little one right here is glass that's made to mimic lapis. So yes, I definitely has some little gold inclusions, gold leaf in the glass, and so yes, definitely has that feel. I know we all have messes, Stephanie, but I like to pretend that my room is as clean as this 8 by 12 inch piece on my desk. Hi, Cassandra. Nice to see you here. All right. So, what do we think, guys? What would you go with first? I'm really drawn to this piece and the Luna Moth. And I kind of like this big crazy crystal. Just thinking what I want to do. So what's catching your eye? What do you guys love? the butterfly and the little brass embossed pieces. Those would be fun together, wouldn't they? Yeah, I really like the butterfly. Just looking over. Stephanie, Jess has shared the link, but Jess will be more than happy to share it again. And I'm sure Jess will share it several times for you guys, and you guys will get the same kit all month long through the month of September. And so Jess said the only variations, there's some little surprises. So there's a few variations of the findings, so you may get a different findings pack, and then the crystal can vary in the boxes, and then all of the metal components and the leather will be the same. Yeah, I'm really digging this. Oh, but I don't know. The upper right one, that is really pretty, isn't it? You know, I haven't done anything with the paints in a while. Maybe I'll pull out the paints and do a little painting. And of course, I always like to look back and see what Jess did. So Jess did a whole bunch of little cute dangles on the bottom of her piece, and it looks like you did some painting on there. Woo-hoo-hoo. Okay, let me pull out some paints. All right. Just gonna pull out a few different colors, see what I like. Okay, and I need to grab a paintbrush. So I'm gonna start with these and see. I might mix a few different. I might play with this a little bit with the blue to kind of adjust it a little. So I've got some metallics, white. I might even pull out a black in case I decide to go a little bit darker. So if you want your blue to go darker, you're going to use black. If you want it to go lighter, you will use white, and you'll get a light blue. If you wanted to dial that color back a little bit and make it not quite so bright of a blue and add a little bit of metallic to it, I would use this. Is this a rose gold? I don't have the color on here. So Jess, this was probably before, like the first batch that didn't have the colors when you sent the samples to us. So let us know what this rose gold color is. And then we have this bronzy color that if I just wanted to add metallic to it, I would add that. So let me grab my paintbrushes. Oh wait, I think I will grab my... Instead of paintbrushes, I'm going to use the rubber brushes, the silicone brushes. That's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to clear off my space just a tiny bit here. And whatever pieces I don't use this week, guys, next week we're going to have our Vintaj play date. And I will spend 1 hour making as much jewelry as I can from the box. So that will be super fun. And you can see what I'm going to do with the extra pieces. Okay, I am going to just throw this down on one of the bags that were in the box. And I'm going to use another bag as my little palette here. Okay. All right. Elise, you can use this as the original color, but this is a raw steel piece, so I'm assuming it will rust over time. So if you want to leave it the color that it is, I recommend using a clear sealer to seal it. Okay, so Vintage has a clear sealer, or you could use Christy Friesen's Swelligant matte clear sealer. Yeah, so you'll have to seal this somehow. So the paints will seal it, or you could use a gloss or a matte sealer. Okay, you gotta shake these little colorful soul bottles up extensively. Alright. And of course I'm gonna have to grab a piece of wire to stick inside of here because I haven't painted in quite a while. And it was a little clogged up. There we go. And you don't need a lot of paint. And let's see, I'm going to go with just a tiny little drop of dark here. And then I want to do a little bit of metallic. And I think I'm going to use this rose gold color. Okay, so yes, if you don't seal the piece, it's going to rust, you guys. So Jess does suggest sealing it with a clear sealer. Sorry if you hear me struggling, it's me shaking up these little paint pieces, bottles till you hear that little ball rolling around in there. Then you know it's all nice and mixed up. And of course I need a little poke through here. Just use my little head pin. Poked it just a tiny bit. All right. So I darkened this up with the black, just a tiny little drop of black. Oh, and I'm going to add a little bit more blue to it. And now I'm going to just pull this off to the side and see if I like these mixed together. And I'm not 100% sure about that, so I think I'm going to leave that off to the side. And yeah, it definitely gives it more of a less sapphire and more in the realm of green. So what I want to do, don't think I have a dark purple, but I have amethyst. Maybe that's as dark as we're going to get. And I am going to grab a paintbrush after all. Okay, you guys have been very, very patient. Thank you. Nothing more fun than watching someone mix up paint colors, right? Almost as fun as watching paint dry. Okay. One little project, such a big mess. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna add a little bit of this. I want to just have this purple a little bit cooler. Not cool as in, hey, you're cool, but the temperature, the color cool. So that's why I'm adding the purple. All right, I'm liking that. Let me grab my paintbrush. Okay. A brand new paintbrush, that's exciting. I think I'm going to start here in the center. And just brushing a light coat on it. I like that you can see all the details and a little bit of the metallic texture from underneath. And let's see, I think I'm going to paint these a little bit lighter. And I'm just using a really soft brush. I don't know if it would really make any difference if you used a brush with harder bristles, but just so happens that the new brushes that I have here on my table are nice and soft. Okay, I'm going to darken up the center pieces here just a little bit. And now I think I'm going to do maybe just a silvery color on the outside with a tiny bit of blue. Just playing, making a mess. Yes, we're going to make all sorts of little happy accidents today, Stephanie. Oh, you know what? Looking at on the camera, I think I'm going to keep it monochromatic, which is all one color. And so I'm going to paint just a light coat all the way around. Then after I get this light coat all the way around, I'm going to come back through and darken up a few parts that I want to highlight. Some different parts of the design. And I suppose I should start thinking about what I actually want to make with this instead of just having fun painting it. Okay, so there's all these little flowery pieces on the outside, and I'm gonna just grab a little bit of paint and fill that in each of the flowers. The nice thing about the Colorful Soul line of paints is you have a much longer drying time. It still dries pretty quickly, but you have a little extra time to play with it, and so you don't have to be in too much of a rush. You can, your paint's not going to dry up here on the palette. And then there's these little flower bits. So just going through and highlighting some of the details with a slightly darker hue. Okay, I'm gonna leave that as it is for a minute and wash my brush, and I'm gonna grab my Renaissance wax real quick because I think I want to seal it with Renaissance wax after I buff it a little bit, and that is going to give me a little bit of a matte finish to it too, which is more my speed. You know what, I think while I have this paint out, I'm just gonna come in here and paint these little feathers just a little bit. Probably pull out some teal too, but I definitely want to get some of this blue color in here on the little tail feathers, since I have the paint right here, right? There, I like that. Okay, let me put this, move this out of the way so you don't stick your elbow in it. Speaking from experience there. Looks like Jess brought me some chai tea. Woohoo! Thank you. Yay! I don't think that, there it is. All right. Love a good chai tea. Okay. I'm gonna let that dry for a second. Now let's decide what we're gonna do with this. I really kind of like it with these that Jess had, but I also don't want to necessarily copy what Jess did, so I might not do those. I might let this be the main focal. And let's see. I don't think that's quite a match. I think I might pull out some humble beads in a dark blue. No, not that. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna do this. And I do feel like it needs a little something else with it too. So oh, if I do that, it'll look like a smiley face. That's something to keep in mind when you're designing jewelry is, you know, you want to make sure you're not making little faces. Oh, just pay attention to your elements as you're creating. Let's see, I kind of like something. Do I want to cover any of that up or no? I'm not sure yet. Let me pull out my buffing block here. Stuck in there tight. Okay, now this is just my Vintaj buffing block. I'm going to buff it a little to pull out a little bit more of the silvery undertones of the steel. Yeah, I'm really liking the way that looks. Yes. Is anyone else obsessed with the new Lord of the Rings TV show, The Rings of Power? I'm like, I'm thinking this looks very elfin. Like I should make something inspired by the elves. Yeah, I like that. All right. So I kind of want to find, I'm running out of my wire. 1 second. No. Sorry, I'm going back and forth from one area to another here, trying to gather supplies. Jesse, you cannot do that while I'm doing a video. He's over there trying to cut stuff. Okay, I'm going to use the Art Metal Parawire Parawire wire from Vintaj. I think that'll work the best. Okay, last thing I'm going to do is use my old Renaissance wax. Susan and Amanda. I have two fellow fans. Good. And I just put a really light coat of that Renaissance wax on my finger and I'm rubbing it over. Nice and simple. And see how it just knocks back a little bit of that shininess. Oh, and I'm probably going to have to seal the back. And so you might want to use a paint sealer, like a gloss or a matte finish sealer. I'm just going to use my Renaissance wax here and let you guys know when I work with steel wire, I finish it with Renaissance wax, and I haven't had trouble with it. So hopefully that keeps up. Yes, okay, good. So Jess is saying that the Renaissance wax will work as a seal. I am so glad to hear that, Jess. All right, let me pull out some tools here. I'm going to grab these guys. I definitely want to incorporate some humble beads here, so I think I'm going to use these little branch ones. And I kind of want to do something weird. I don't know. Let me think about things for just a second. So I'm sure you guys do this where you just audition beads and love and play around with moving things around, seeing how they're going to work, seeing if they're going to work. Sorry, my neighbor is mowing his lawn. I hope it doesn't get loud over here. Not sure about this, because I'm definitely going to wear this long. All right, thinking, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if there's any guys watching. Hello, welcome. All right. This is always the tricky part, deciding what to do. Oh, that's kind of interesting, isn't it? Where we take the circle and attach it to this filigree piece, and so kind of changes the shape of it. Oh wait, that's the lawn people mowing my lawn. Oh. What do you guys think? Something's going on here, isn't it? Should I do this as a bracelet? No, it's too big for me for a bracelet. But I do like this, right? Jess, how would you attach this? What would you do to attach these? Would you just glue them? Would you rivet them? I'm not sure if 2 is going to work. It may just be 1. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna do 1. And have this one on the bottom. It almost makes it feel like kind of like a locket or something, which I'm kind of digging. Right? Yeah, okay. Yes. All right, I like that. It's always nice when something sparks, right? Okay. Trying to use some little components from the box here too. Lots of little pretty pieces this time around. Let's see, I definitely want to have these up further away from this, I think. Or do I want to just keep it simple and do 2? Maybe use my little bead cap here upside down. No, not quite. Oh, okay. Do you guys hear the lawn being mowed? Is that all you can? Oh, Jess, that's so brilliant. Yes, we can cut this in half. Would you cut it with just these, Jess? Yeah, that's what I'm just gonna go for it. I have 2 of them, so if I mess one up, I have the other one, right? Okay. See, this middle part's a little tricky. Oh my gosh. So for the middle part here, I'm going to bend it a little so I can get in there. Maybe I'll just have to bend it back and forth until it snaps. That'll work too, right? One of these pieces will loosen up. There we go. All right, now I'm going to just cut off a little bit of the sharpness here. And I don't think this is going to touch anything or cause any trouble as far as scratching, but just to be on the very most safe side, I'm just going to grab this flat file and file them down just a tiny bit, just so that there's not any chance that it's going to scrape. Like if I wore it with a nice blouse, I wouldn't want it to catch on anything. Just run your finger over it, make sure it's nice and smooth and there aren't any little burrs that your finger's catching on. And if you don't have one of these files, you can use an emery board and do the same thing with an emery board. You know, a nail emery board. It'll just take you a little bit longer. Cool. Now, just in case you were so inclined, you do have two of these, and you could cut the other one in half and use a pair for earrings. Should I do that and just use the less fancy ones for the back of here? I think that's what I'm gonna do. Jess, can you link again the link to the Vintaj box? Now, if you're just joining us, you guys, the Vintaj box is now head up directly through Jess Lincoln, who has been putting them together for the last, is it 2 or 3 years? I can't remember how long it's been. I guess it's been 2 years. So Jess is now directly selling those on her website at Jess May, M-A-E, Lincoln. And Jess will include that link below. There we go. All right. Just bending this back and forth until the metal weakens and breaks eventually. Okay, there we go. Now I see it's a little sharper right here, so I'm going to trim that off, and I'm going to trim this part off. Okay. Yeah, if you just cut off these little parts that are super spiky, you won't have to file as much. So that's what I was doing there. Okay, back to filing. All right. Definitely we have the link there again. I think I may have... The lawnmower isn't too loud. Okay, that's good. I didn't think they were actually going to come here today, because they were just here yesterday doing gardening work for me. I guess they looked at the lawn and said, I guess we better get over here and mow the lawn. At least they won't be right up next to the house, because they just did the grading all around our house and planted really nice flower beds for me all the way around the house. Separated all my hostas, which is super exciting to see all your hostas grow up and have lots of babies. And I'm not as worried about how this piece looks because it's going to be covered up with the blue piece. I just want to make sure it's not going to snag on anything. So I'm going to do top and bottom here with this guy. Or I may just do the bottom and save that other one for something later. What do you guys think? Top and bottom or just the top? Let me know. What does the design community think? Top and bottom or just the top? Let me know in the comments. And while you guys weigh in with your opinion, I'm going to file these a little bit. Metalwork isn't hard. Like if you've done your nails, you can file a piece of metal. You just want to go in the same direction each time you file. You don't want to do a sawing motion back and forth. So just like you were going to do your nails and go in one direction, same thing with the file. And just make sure it's smoothed out all the way. And I'm going to turn this over on the back and I'm going to file downward so that it will pull those little metal pieces down away from the edge. Okay, that feels good. And I'm going to use these components as earrings. So I'm going to get a necklace and a pair of earrings out of these two pieces. Thanks to Jess's brilliant, brilliant little idea. Okay, either way, both top and bottom, both just the top and bottom, just the top and bottom. Okay, so Carmen, I think on the website it said you had to wait and it would arrive within a week. I'm pretty sure. Jess, is that correct? If they order the boxes today, it should arrive within about 7 to 10 days, I would say, counting for the mail. This side is a little rougher, so I really need to get that filed so it looks like the other side. And I'm filing pretty aggressively. I'm using quite a bit of pressure. I'm not being dainty or delicate about this. Mostly so it goes faster. Okay. There we go. And I think I'm going to use these pieces like that, downward. I think that'll look cool. Yes, I would like that. And I'm definitely going to have to make something with this next. Okay, so what do we see? Let's see. Jess says, yes, she usually ships within a day or two. And so if you order today, it'll get shipped tomorrow. That's exciting. All right, so you know what? I really think I do like it just on the top. There's something I'm liking about that. Maybe. Now I second guess myself. Yeah, if I was going to do it as a bracelet, I would do both sides. But I'm thinking I'm just going to do one side. And let's see, how do I want to connect this? I want it to be down here. Do I want it to be on the top, you guys? What do you guys think of that? on the top. Okay, now we have to know, do we want the filigree on the top or underneath? So many design choices today. I'm having a hard time deciding. Let's see, I think for sure I am going to rivet this on here. So while we're waiting to hear from you if you think it should be top or bottom, I need to find my little rivets real quick. Just filing a little bit here off the camera. On top, right? There was something really nice about that. It fit. It looked like it belonged there, like it was made that way. Okay, let me pull out my box of goodies here and find my rivets. And of course it's not there. Oh, excuse my camera. I'm gonna have to jump up and get my rivets real quick. 1 second. Don't go anywhere, guys. I'm here. Don't you go anywhere. Okay. And we do sell rivets on the website at humblebeads.com. So these are the little nail head rivets from Vintaj, natural brass. So of course they match everything perfectly. I'm going to need a hole punch, I do believe. Oops. And I'm going to poke above. There's like a little bottom dot here. Can you guys see that? And then the metal on top, which is actually a solid piece. And that is where I'm going to poke my hole. This is a 1.5 millimeter hole punch. And so I'm going to stick that in. Push it in here. It's a little bit of a tight fit, but if I just wiggle it back and forth, I think it'll work. There we go. Nice and tight on there. Alright, that's going to look good. Alright, now to do the rivet, you're going to need your rubber block, your steel bench block, and your ball peen hammer. Let's see, I usually have a little old key card here, like, you know, like a hotel key, but that has disappeared. Oh, here it is. Right where I put it. Okay, so this is just a plastic card, you know, like a hotel key, an old credit card. I'm going to stick that on here, press it nice and flat, and cut on top of here, because this is actually the exact size, or perfect size, for making your rivet. Alright. I'm going to just double check and make sure. Yeah, it's a little bit big because the bottom part actually needed to be curved a little. Okay, now I'm going to take this round end of my ball peen hammer and I'm going to hammer all around my rivet, spreading it out thicker than the hole. And I'm just going to do this nice and gently, nice and slow. See how it's spreading out? Maybe you can't see it. Let me get it up close for you. It was just a little tiny dot before, and now it's spreading out into a bigger dot. And you want to go all the way around the end of the rivet to make it splay out so that it will catch on to your metal on the back. I'm using the flat side once it's wide enough, and I'm just flattening it down so that it doesn't scratch my shirt when I'm wearing it. Which, yes, that has happened. Okay. Oh, guys, look how cool this is. I'm loving it. Yay! Okay. Now, the only problem is my little humble bead is just not substantial enough for this design. We need something a little more. Yeah, so, and I do have other videos with the riveting too, so feel free to go back and look through those. Let's see. Nope. Not fancy enough. I'm looking through to see what I have in my art bead arsenal. Let's see if something will catch my eye to go with this. And I might not have anything, but we shall see. Maybe that little guy. I feel like I need something else. And of course I don't have anything in blue, because for some reason I don't buy a lot of navy blue stuff. I should remedy that. That's a golem piece, but all of these are taking away from my design. So I might just go with the understated little humble bead here. Just digging through. Don't mind me. Alright, do I want to do something? Yes, no, what do you guys think? I could paint this a little bit darker with the dark blue. Ting Ting, you asked, oh no, you said thanks for showing the rivets. Kathy, you can use any of the ball peen hammers. I don't even know. This is my fancy frets one, but a regular inexpensive ball peen hammer will work just as well. Or you could use a riveting hammer, which has the, let me show you. This is a riveting hammer, an actual riveting hammer, and you would use this and do like cross. So you would hammer that way, on the back side. Oh, you'd hammer that way and then hammer that way. So you make like a cross with the pieces, and then you would turn it over and hammer with this side. So the hammer isn't really important. Whatever you have, make sure it's a jewelry hammer and not, a hardware hammer. So either a ball peen hammer, and this is a micro ball peen hammer, so this side's really small, but there's ones where the ball peen is bigger, and that works too. So yeah, I'm kind of into that in its own way. And there's a little tiny blue piece here that might, maybe. All right. I need to remember where I put my drill. Oh, guys, if you could see my desk. It it was clean an hour ago, and now it's totally filled up. Hey, Jesse, can you drill a hole in this for me?
In a what?
Drill a hole in this bead for me? I can't find my little... Okay, guys, yeah, so we definitely were digging this, and I like all the little beads that are in the kit, but they might be too dainty. I need something big. Oh, I do have this guy. Maybe that guy. This one, can you... Jess is gonna drill that hole in there for me real quick. On the other side. I need two holes, yeah. So, the polymer clay beads, you can drill them with a Dremel or with a little handheld mini drill, and we're drilling it with a 1.5 millimeter drill bit. And so, thank you, Jess. So we have two holes now, top and bottom. All right, let me just construct this, get this going. I think maybe this will work a little bit more. Now that we have the hammer and we're going for this whole like Renaissance medieval kind of look and feel, right? Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it and put it together. I'm going to use 20 gauge, and I think I'm going to use the natural brass color. It'll just kind of blend in a little bit more. I'm going to do two pieces about 6 inches or longer here. All right, I don't recommend using jump rings on these polymer clay components, just because you can put too much pressure on them with a jump ring and end up breaking the bead. So you want to do a wire wrapped bail on both sides. So I'm going to use this 20 gauge brass wire from Vintaj, and I'm going to bend them over so we have one going in the front, one going straight up, and the one that's going straight up, I'm going to actually bend it over to make a bail. I mean, not a bail, a loop. Okay, and I'm going to take the bottom one, hold on to your loop, take your bottom piece and wrap it around underneath your loop 2 times. And it's going to end in the back, and I'm going to cut it in the back there. And pinch that down. And now I'm going to grab the top loop and wrap it around several times, making this messy little wrap that I love. Okay. And I'm just going by how I want it to look. I did it 2 or 3 times, I'm not sure. Okay. And I'm going to do the same thing with the bottom. Oh, actually, this is going to have to be the bottom. No, I messed it up. Oh, goodness. Okay, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to leave those aside. Okay, you know how they say necessity is the mother of all invention? Well, sometimes laziness is too. I just don't want to undo what I already did. Okay, so I need this little loop to be big enough to go into this first hole on the filigree. So I'm going to make it a little bit larger than I normally would. And I'm going to open it up and slip it on. Oh, no, I don't like that. Okay. Sorry, feeling indecisive at the moment. I'm going to start that over. And it'll be easier to start it wrapping it on the flower. To get my little loop going. So, fold it over. I'm going to wrap around 2 times nice and tight. Kind of close that up a little bit. I'm going to trim this off. Oh, you guys have been real troopers if you're still here watching with me. Yes, Linda, a lampwork bead would have been nice on the top, but I have not been to a bead show in a long time, and my art bead stash is tragically low at the moment. I need to fix this. Okay, let's do that bigger loop on the bottom. Now that I punched a hole in there in case you guys missed that with the 1.5 millimeter on the top there, so that it will fit a little bit easier on there. Okay, now I'm going to open this up and slip on my bottom filigree. And close this. And now I'm going to wrap around, going downwards towards my pendant a few times, and then thicken this bottom one up a little bit more. And I'm going to go 2 times back towards the loop. Just until you feel like it's nice and balanced, looks and feels good to you. Oop. Yeah, I think that's good. Okay. I may end up redoing this top one just because it's looking a little messy even for me. We'll see. Not right now though. Okay. So I'm going to make sure these both are going to hit at the same place. Okay, I'm going to grab a pretty jump ring for the top. Let me get out my jump ring stash here. See which one I like best. I think I'm just going to go with that one. Oops. Oh my god, you just saw the mess. Ah! Pay no attention to the mess behind the curtain. Okay. There we go. Now what I'm going to do, but I'm going to wait and do it off camera, is I'm going to take a few of these little teeny tiny beads and I'm going to do a thinner chain, and I'm just going to have these on eye pins interspersed in between the chain just to add a little tiny bit of color. And so I'm going to use a fine chain and intersperse the little blue beads, but I'm going to do that off the camera after the video and post it on my page later this afternoon. Yeah, see, I think that'll look really, really pretty with a few of these tiny little blue beads. And I'm just going to do them on eye pins and intersperse them between my beads. I mean, between the chain. Okay. Now these guys, I'm going to do one real quick just so you can see what my grand plan is. Okay, I'm going to poke a hole right in the center of this ball that's sticking out. Oh, it's a little off center. I'm going to pretend that didn't happen. And I think since I've kind of gone through and filed quite a bit of this, what I'm going to do is just take my buffing block and just go over the top of it, so it just kind of camouflages the parts where I filed, where it has the bright metal, so that you don't pay attention to that as much. Ignore the file marks. Okay. I'm gonna grab a spacer here. I think I'm just gonna use a little, well, of course nothing is where you want it to be. Alright. I'm just going to use a little O bead for a spacer here. Or I could use these little guys, right? Maybe I should do that. Maybe that'll be pretty. And I'm going to grab, let's see. Okay, I'm not going to do these two, this big blue one, because it's too close to the size of that one on the bottom. I want a slightly smaller bead that's gonna fit inside there. Let me see if I have a second one. I'm just digging through my check glass bead box. I have all my check beads are in these color coordinated boxes where I just, at the end of the day, throw all of my check beads in the correct box at the end of the day. Ooh, maybe I'll do just a little tiny flower poking out. Might be too tiny. So just thinking about the scale of things, how I want it to look. Ooh, that would be nice if I can find a second one of that, which I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to find a second one. Huh, well, I would just do it on here and then find it. I'm sure I have another one in this mess of a table, so I'm just going to do one for right now. I'm going to grab a little bit of wire. I'm going to make a loop here on the bottom, and I'm going to open this loop and throw on my filigree that I've punched. Have that slip on there. And I'm going to make my little messy wrap. And I'm just going to do 2 times underneath and 2 times on top for the earring. I don't want it to be quite as messy on the earring, a little more refined. Okay. Karen asked, does it have to be a monthly, or can you do just a one-time subscription? Jess, can you answer that for us? I know the answer is that you can do just one box, and then would you cancel at the end of the month? I mean, after the first month, is that what you would do? Let's see, do we like that? I think I might. Just trying out a few ideas here. Oh, I actually like that even better. Okay. There we go. There's our final answer. And I'm going to do a little loop on the top here. And I am going to do a little wrap loop. Wrapping it around 2 times tightly, and then 2 times on top of the first wraps. Actually, I think I'm going to do 3, just going to look a little bit better with 3 on the top here. Okay, and now I'll just throw on an earring wire, which is somewhere. I think you guys just kind of get the point. Oh, here they are. Okay. Oh, Jess, do you ship the boxes internationally? That's another question. All right. Yes, I like this a lot, guys. So there's my earring. Woo! Yay! I love it. Okay, so I'm going to do thin chain on this. Actually, I think I might do a few links of thicker chain, just so there's a little bit more transition. And then do some of the little teeny tiny beads in between the links on the chain. So we have definitely some medieval, elfin, some otherworldly inspired romantic creations in this pretty sapphire blue color for the month. All right, that was a little challenging, but at least I got something done this time. And I really like this. The hard part about doing the box is, okay, number one, you don't know what's in it, but also just trying to do something different. Because you guys don't want to see me do the same design every single month. That's not fun. So it's interesting. Okay, so here's Jess. Yes, we ship internationally. However, the shipping fee will need to be charged at one time of shipment. Oh, at the time of shipment. Yeah, that makes sense. So, Julie, I will need to seal the back, and so I should do that right now while I'm thinking. And I'm just going to use my big old jar of Renaissance wax to seal the back here. I don't know if I did or not, but better safe than sorry. Okay. Oh yeah, I think I did. But again, doesn't hurt to put a little more on. All right. So there we go. Vintage box, September unboxing in the bag. That was super fun. It was long though, guys. I'm so sorry. I took up so much of your afternoon. I will go through and see if there's any questions that were directly for me and answer that. Thank you guys so much for watching the whole way through. Jess, if you could once again put the link for your subscription box down below. The new Vintage subscription boxes are going to be directly sent out by Jess, which is Jess May Lincoln, and May is M-A-E. And so, Jess, we're so glad to have you sponsor today's video. And then Humble Beads, which was the disc beads, and the dogwood flower, you guys can find at humblebeads.com. Don't forget we have the end of the month project, the oak leaves, and those are going to be the last weekend of the month we do our create along, and so we still have kits available for that. If you guys have any questions, feel free to leave them below, and I will definitely try to answer them. Jess was really great about answering questions. Thank you guys so much for sticking through to the very, very end. Next week, I will be doing the Vintage Playdate. Bring your beads along and create with me too, guys. And so I will be, of course, designing everything in my head before we sit down and do that. And I'll just be putting things together and talking through my construction next week. So I'll have all my design process laid out, which can take up so much time. And so thank you guys for joining me. You have a great week. I'll see you on Friday at 3 p.m. for our coffee break. I'll be sharing what's new over at Humble Beads, and hopefully give you a little inspiration before you head off for the weekend.